is such an honor to stand here and be part of this launch. I think when Doso reached out to me, I didn't see this coming, and I have told him before, I didn't see this coming. It was one of those moments when you actually have that imposter syndrome, where you think, can I really do this? So I think I really want to appreciate Doso for what he did, believing in me, and Zion Publishers for basically just taking us through the process and making sure that this made it happen. We made this happen. So I also want to recognize the friends that are here in our midst, maybe the ones that came. Just show of hands. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Colleagues, thank you for being here. And also my family. Believe my husband, Peter, is around. Yes. Thank you. My daughter, my 10-year-old daughter, she told me not to say she's 10. She's turning 11 next month. Yes, there. And my 7-year-old son, Sean, thank you so much for being here. I thought about the Tesla autopilot car system. I'm sure the car lovers know about the Tesla autopilot car system. So for those who are not car lovers, or basically those who do not know much about cars, it's basically a system that can seamlessly navigate through traffic. So basically what happens is that this car system can change lanes. It can even park itself, all without human intervention. And I understand you can actually call the car to your location like a personal chauffeur. So yeah, it's really cool as in thinking about it. So just like these cars, many of us find ourselves running on autopilot, moving through our days without being really truly present. So, of course, if you think about it, it basically saves us time and effort when our minds basically automate some of the things we do. So, for instance, maybe the ones that actually drive. Driving right now is actually much easier than when we first began because our minds have basically automated the whole process. We do not have to come back every single day and learn how to say step on the accelerator or the brakes, and maybe when you want to actually step on the brakes, you're actually stepping on the accelerator. So basically what has happened is that your mind has actually automated all these processes in your head, so that immediately you get in, it's quick and you're where you're meant to be. And of course some people have actually joked that their cars actually know their way home. I know in the Kenyan spirit that is a common term, that their cars actually know their way home. Yes, it's the automation that our minds have already made. So let's try and imagine together. You basically wake up in the morning, you go through a routine. You take a shower, you dress up, you have breakfast, you brush your teeth, and then you leave for work. Your day is filled with back-to-back meetings, endless emails, and by the time you get home, you're already so exhausted. This is actually a daily routine most of us are going through. So basically what we are doing is that we have become like zombies, basically sleepwalking through life. We are not cognizant of the things, the feelings, the emotions, and the surroundings within us. So basically what this book is trying to do is trying to encourage us to make small changes to our daily routines so that we can have significant impact on our day and bring a fresh perspective to our life. So as a co-author of this book, we have given so many relatable stories, so many authentic stories, and just sharing about our lives. And as Doso was speaking about how we actually have a timer in our lives. Every single day that you were born, when you were born, you have a timer for when you will die. So it's necessary for us to live a life that is actually intentional. And I'd like to share a story from the Bible, from the book of Luke. It basically is a story about how Jesus visited the two sisters, Mary and Martha, and I'm sure you've heard that story. So Mary was out there listening to Jesus, and Martha was, of course, preparing for the guest. Jesus had come to visit, and Martha was actually preparing. She was doing what she was meant to do when a visitor actually comes to your home. But while Martha was actually caught up with the business of life, Mary actually chose to be intentional. She decided to focus her time on what truly mattered, being at the feet of Jesus. So sometimes, rather than being like Mary, who chooses to be present and attentive, we find ourselves distracted by the demands of daily life. And it's not out of the ordinary. Martha was actually doing what she was supposed, but she was not intentional to take care of her time. And it's all about the small, everyday choices that we make. And in today's fast-paced world, sometimes we find ourselves multitasking. I have a cold, so you'll excuse me. It's the effect of this launch. Something happened in the morning. So basically, in today's fast-paced world, we often find ourselves multitasking and caught up with the daily activities, constantly moving from one task to another. We do not take a moment to pause. So basically, this book tells us of how we should slow down. We should reflect and live with purpose. Research has actually shown that multitasking actually reduces productivity, as the brain has to switch between tasks, often resulting in slower completion times and increased errors. So multitasking has also been attributed to higher stress levels and cognitive fatigue. So this book basically invites us to embrace also mindfulness and to find moments of stillness amidst the chaos. I'll read for you a scripture from the book of Psalms chapter 46, verse 10. It basically speaks to being still and knowing that he's God. So it just says, be still and know that I am God. Basically, what this scripture reminds us is that there is importance in pausing. There is a need to actually pause, to be present and obtain immense peace and clarity. So basically, that is what that scripture talks about. And this gives us the essence of basically mindfulness and intentionality, which is one of the chapters of the book. It also encourages us to cultivate a mindset that allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. It's about being present in the moment and making choices that reflect our true selves. It's about living a life that is authentic and fulfilling. It's about finding joy in the journey rather than the destination. Living intentionally involves making decisions with clear understanding of one's values, goals, and desires. It emphasizes the importance of thinking positively and remaining determined in the face of obstacles. With the right mindset, we can overcome any challenge and achieve our true passion. So as you read this book, I hope that you will find inspiration to incorporate mindfulness and intentionality into your own life. I hope you will discover the joy of being present and the power of living with purpose. And I hope that you will share this journey with others, spreading the message of mindfulness and intentionality far and wide. So basically, let's just be intentional and just to navigate and to avoid reacting to situations. And just before I give my little call to action, in the book, I have outlined various mindful practices that we can consider. And I just want to see from the guests that are here, if we are actually mindful, just before I give my call to action, so that I know that this call to action is actually relevant. As Dottie was doing the presentations here of the authors, there was the person who actually brought the opening speech, and there were two ladies that actually came before me, and actually me as a third person. So from the guest list, I just want to get someone who has actually gotten the names in terms of mindful listening, the names of the three people who have just come to stage. No, you are out. I want it from the guests. Yes, please. Before Professor? No, no, everyone who actually spoke. Okay, I want someone who was listening. Yes. Mm-hmm. Awesome, awesome. So now, as I do the call to action, and as I leave here today, I want to challenge you to try one mindful practice. May it be mindful listening. Even as you listen to this conversation, may you listen to them mindfully, taking a moment to truly understand and listen to every speaker. If you find yourself on autopilot, remember to hit the brakes. Of course, be kind to yourself. There are times when your mind will actually divert, but be kind to yourself to actually return to yourself to the present moment. And that is what mindfulness is all about. Thank you again for being here. Your support means the world to us. Excited to share this book with you. Thank you.